Hi, everyone. I'm Emma Loggins, editor of FanBolt, and I have the honor of chatting with Stewart today about his new film, Bob Trevino Likes It, which won both the Grand Jury Prize and Audience Award at South by Southwest. Congrats on being part of such a special film, French.
Thank you so much, Emma. It's been really fun.
I bet. What attracted to you to this project initially, and how did Tracy Lemon's personal story about finding connection with a stranger online really resonate with you?
Well, I had my wife is in a writers group with Tracy. My wife is a wonderful writer, and so during COVID, Tracy was still writing page by page, and she would come to her writers group, and they needed actors to read the parts, and so I was reading the parts, and I watched it kind of grow and come together. And after a while, she just said, "Hey, I think you'd be really good at the bad Bob Trevino," and I'd read both of them. So at first I thought, oh, the good Bob Trevino, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But no, she was like, do the jackass. It'll be fun. And it was. And I think that the thing that's really resonated for me is this is a small movie about finding your family. And I think right now more than ever, uh, things can feel splintered, and sometimes you choose who to be around. And I love it. We've showed it to all sorts of different audiences, and big town, small town, they all react the same. So it's been really gratifying.
It's fascinating how real life stories can just translate into such powerful films, and it seems almost rare today because we have so many sequels and remakes and live action versions. So to see something like this that is so real and so raw is unfortunately rare, but so refreshing.
Yeah, it's really fun to see a small movie on the big screen. It's out in actual theaters, and there are no, it's a miracle, because there are no wizards in it. There are no dragons. There are no shapeshifters. Well, I guess they're shapeshifters. I'm lying. But no, but it's really nice to just see a small film about people in a movie. It just never happens.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly understand, the risk from a financial point with trying to make something new.
Yeah.
But movies that make you laugh and cry, and you get this beautiful evolution of a character dealing with and healing from trauma, like I said, it's just so rare. Films like this one, um, with your I guess your experience, what can be done to get more films like this on the big screen? Is there anything that we can do or that can be done to bring more attention to unique stories like this one?
I think the sad truth of it is that it's economics, and it's putting butts in seats. And so
Yeah.
I think it's really about going to see them, and it's supply and demand at a certain point. But I also think that uh, and I have no problem with these huge movies. People love them; they're fun, and I get it. But if you leave just some space for the smaller ones, for every huge movie, you could make 200 Bob Trevino Likes It, and I have to think the odds are pretty good that out of that you'd get 10, 11 really good movies.
Yeah.
You get a lot of jackassery too, but
That
that's
comes with it.
yeah.
Well, with your character in this one, playing the absent father of Lily, how do you approach playing a character that has such a significant impact, on Lily's life, despite having, relatively limited screen time in the overall runtime?
Yeah, I think the thing about it is that his absence speaks volumes. And so even when he's not there, he's there because he caused this, and it's sort of the fact that you see John Leguizamo and her having this beautiful friendship. Uh, it's that came out of necessity for the person who, is only on screen 4 or 5 times and is just absent. And so I think his absence is kind of crucial.
Yeah, it's such a powerful character, despite the amount of time you actually get to.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's such a powerful character. Um, I'm curious. You've worked on in different mediums with film and television and theater. How do you approach roles like this? Does it differ from how you approach, roles for television or stage?
Uh, yeah, it's actually largely the same for me. I mean, for me at this point, it's all about the lines. The older I get, it's about grilling the lines into my head, and everything else just sort of comes. But for this character in particular, it was just having to remind myself not to just create a villain, and to it's hurt people hurt, and the notion that everyone is the star of their own movie and the hero of their own story. And so I think that if you ask him about the movie, he thinks it's about him, and he thinks that by the end of this, you will all understand that his daughter is thankless, and that he deserves better. And
Right.
so it's just coming at it from a like a human avenue, so that you don't just make this one-dimensional thing that's just twisting his mustache and you know
Right. The entire cast is so good in this too, especially Lily. Like, she's just
oh,
mind-blowingly amazing.
she is great. I
She
mean,
really
I
is.
and she is Barbie Ferreira is I keep saying it, but she is a magical person.
Yeah.
She is a magical actor. She is a magical person, and we're getting to kind of get in on the ground floor of this, and just I can't. She's one of those where she's so young right now, and she's so good and so authentic, and so her heart is so available. I can't wait to see what she's going to do when she's 40, when she's
Yeah.
50. Well, I mean, I think her roof is so high.
Absolutely. What was it like working alongside her and the rest of the cast? Do you have kind of any memorable moments that kind of added to your chemistry on screen?
It's interesting with it was a very stripped down cast and crew working out of Kentucky, and it's a small movie, and so everything is very economical. And I think the thing that touched me the most is that I'm a big believer in being a good citizen of whatever community you're in at the time. And if it's a marriage, try and be a good citizen of your marriage. And if it's one of these small movies, do the best not to be the problem. And with this, it was just so easy to just slide into this, and they were such an enjoyable group from top to bottom that I don't know. I think every day going to work, even when you're playing a jackass, it was just fun, and it was just lovely. And I found that all you had to do was really just sit there and listen to Barbie. Just be mean to Barbie and go to lunch.
What do you think that this movie says about the nature of connection in today's digital world? And how would you say your own relationship with social media has evolved personally?
Yeah, it's I was born in 1964, so I think technically I'm the last of the boomers. I'm like, and so like there's a part of me where I really enjoy getting like a handwritten letter, or I like a phone call, and I think getting on a phone with a lot of people, it's like just text me, let me see what you're up to first. But with social media, I think there's such a great upside of it, but there's such a tragic downside of it, which is it seems to me that when you can have rough conversations with people you don't know under a name that is not yours, it unlocks your id in uh, in a dark way. And then after a while, when it's done so much, it becomes normal. And then you start to see it on television, in real life, and in our news. People whose manners have gone, or they just normalize aberrant behavior. And so I don't have any great questions on how to corral that, because it feels like once the genie is out of the bottle,
Yeah.
all you can do is just be the best version of yourself and surround yourself with people who are doing the same. But other than that, I wish I knew.
Yeah. And what you just said, I think resonates so heavily, the idea of surrounding yourself with the right people. And really, the concept from this film, I'm such a huge fan of this idea of a chosen family.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful concept. How do you feel like how do those themes resonate for you, like a chosen family versus a biological family?
I've always been a big believer in that, and I've always, even within my biological family, I have a wonderful chosen core of them, and there were other members where they're like, oh, that's your blood, or that's your, I'm like, well, they got to go because because they have been acting foolish for a long time, and I don't see any break in that. And so I like to carve a group of people out, and some of them are directly related, and some of them are people that I've acquired over time. And I always think that people are about dosage. Like, you have some friends who are like, oh, like my wife, that's everyday dosage. It's why I got married. We can sit in a room not talking, or we can go to a party and talk, and that's, she's my full-time dosage. Now, I've got some friends who are like twice a year dosage. Yeah, because
I love that.
I'm happy to see them twice a year, because it's a lot coming at you.
Yeah.
Or else, like, there's some that it's like you see them once a week, or so choose your dosage.
I love that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you a little bit about Georgia too. I know you live here now.
Yeah.
What drew you to Georgia as a place to live, and how has that affected your career choices?
After COVID, we figured, I mean, everything had gone to Zoom. I wasn't going into offices or having meetings that way. And my wife, who's a lot smarter than I am, said, we could go anywhere. We could go someplace we could get a change. We could get some new scenery. We could get some new food, some new people. Maybe the prices go down. Not everything's on fire. And so I had worked in Atlanta. My wife is originally from the South. And so she said, what would you think of Atlanta? I said, let's do it. And so she said, it's going to take a year. We need to put it together and start looking ahead at a school for our daughter. And we need to sell our house, buy a house. And so it was a process, but I'm so happy we did. And I think how it's made me change maybe my approach to my work is that there's just, I think sometimes you get a shift or a change of environment, and it wakes you up, and it gives you these new missions, and you think, oh, well, we're here in Atlanta, but guess what's close? Now we can get to Chicago this fast, or we can get to New York this fast, or just all the Southern culture. This is just great. I'd never seen fireflies. I thought, wow, what kind of wizardry is this? Are you from Georgia?
I am born and raised.
Really?
Never left.
Are you from Atlanta?
I'm just south of Atlanta. Yeah.
South of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well, be specific. What's your address? Tell the people.
Well, I'm in Smyrna now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love it. It's beautiful, and the people are nice and genuine, and well, I mean, not all of them. Come on,
You got that anywhere though.
Yeah, you gotta get that anywhere. But I love it, and I'm enjoying my daughter being able to ride her bike out in front of the house, and she loves her school, and it's been lovely.
Oh, I love that. I love that. The industry here, having grown up here and wanting to somehow be involved in the industry, it's been really incredible to see how it has flourished here. Because I used to think I was going to have to move out to LA if I wanted to work anywhere around it.
Yeah, everybody did. Yeah.
Yeah. It's what aspects of the local industry do you find the most exciting or unique compared to other film hubs in the country?
I love that it's the competency is the same. The work ethic is the same. The quality of filmmaking is the same, but the manners are better. And it really makes a difference in your day, when people are being civil to each other, and it's huge. And I'm not saying I've worked on a lot of great crews in LA, and a lot of but different cities have different feelings, and it's just I don't know, it's got its own flavor, and it's been nice. I think within the first month or so, I got this recurring part on Will Trent, which was shooting in Atlanta. And I would go in and they would be like, what do you want for breakfast? You want eggs? I'm like, yeah. Do you want some grits with that? I'm like, that's never come up. Grits has never been an option. No. So
we have good grits here.
Yeah, it's really good. No, too good, maybe too good.
Yeah, some of them can be a problem.
Oh man, it's a lot of issues, a lot of food issues for your buddy.
Yeah. With films like this one and your career history, what keeps you excited about taking on new roles at this point in your career, and what are you specifically looking for?
I was always pragmatic about my career, where I just really believed I'm a journeyman actor, and I will always just take the best part in front of me. And if it's a good part, I'll take it. And if it's something that I would rather not, but I need to make my insurance, well, I'm going to do that. And then, I'll have a house and I'll have a family, and I'll just do that. And now I'm in my early 60s, and I sort of want to do just good stuff, and I just want to afford myself the option of being a little pickier. And that's it, because it's always been fun. Doing a play is fun, doing television is fun, doing a movie is fun. So I just want to keep doing it as long as I can keep remembering the lines.
Well, before we wrap up, I'd love to know what do you have coming up, and what are you working on?
Yeah, it's been so fun. So I'm going to keep grinding for another few weeks, supporting Bob Trevino Likes It. And then after that, I'm working on a movie that I wrote that we're getting up and running. And my wife and I we run a production company together with some other partners in Georgia. And so it's called Story Mill. And so we're trying to make, small local stories. So I'll be doing that. And then my wife had written a play for me that we did in LA about Buster Keaton called Stoneface, and it was very successful there. And we're thinking about putting it back up. So a lot of it is just like, okay, this Bob Trevino's done, and now build the next thing. But it's a family business, and so it's really fun.
I love it. Well, congratulations on all of the success of Bob Trevino Likes It. I ugly cried at the end, but I cried at a few points throughout. It's just such a beautiful film, and it's got the humor, the emotion. It's just beautiful. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really glad you like it. I love it, and it's nice. It's nice when the lights go down and you're in a movie, that when they come back up, you're not like, oh God, this is really not going to be a great movie. This is a 75% good movie. No, I every time the lights go down and come up, I'm just really proud of it. So I hope people come out to the theater and support it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll do my part.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And get your sad sack friends out to see it too.
I will. All of them.
All of them. All right.
All of them.
All of them.
Well, thank you, French.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you, Emma.
You too.